further incentivize people to get approved to open at a certain location, they're going to be eligible for more money as opposed to someone who opens up, let's say, down business. But we really want to provide the capital access because according to the Minority Business Development Council, which is a national organization, the largest barrier for the expansion, establishment, and growth of black businesses is capital access. So Mayor Small really wants to help address that particular barrier head on. But aside from that, we have our Small Business Academy, which is a 8-week free program that is designed to teach someone from A to Z how to start and grow a business. And we just graduated a class of 28 folks, mostly women, mostly minority women, and we're hoping to help them open up businesses here in the city. One young lady actually, we had a pitch competition, and she won $15,000 grant to open up a business in the inlet section of town. So these are real programs. We're really trying to help people from A to Z open up businesses. We're not just saying it, we're actually putting the money up, we're actually putting the time and resources up. So I just want to put that out there because I think when you talk about generational wealth, it's great to have a job, but you can't pass that job on to the kids. You can pass a business on. Everyone's not going to be cut out to be a business owner, but we want to encourage, if you're not a business owner, to support our local businesses because for every $100 that you spend at a local owned business, 73% of that will stay in your community, as opposed to Walmart or Starbucks. Only 40% of that will stay in your community. So from an economic standpoint, it makes sense to shop at your local mom and pop business for your own community. And we want to help educate the public on that point too, because we want more of our money staying not just in our city and our county. And again, in our community, we need more of our own equity because one thing about the black community is we're so quick to talk about what others aren't doing for us. So for instance, everyone wants to talk about what Cedar Market isn't doing for us. Okay, how about we put our money up and start building our own Cedar Markets, right? Let's not talk about what they're not doing for us, but they're doing for their community. So it's time that we have that discussion about what's missing in our community. Is it beauty supply stores? Is it barbershops? Is it clean up? But we need to identify what those things are that we're missing so that we can start going after them from an ownership perspective and keeping that money within our community and encouraging others to stop going on Facebook and tearing down that black owned restaurant. Because you don't do that at Eddie P's or at Ruth Chris. You have a bad experience, you just take it on the chin. But when Kelsey gives you a piece of fish that's too salty, we're quick to go on Facebook and tear them down. So it's a mindset thing. I think it's a access to money thing. It's an education thing. So we want to hit all those things head on and just encourage supporting each other. That's what I have to say.
Yes, I want to speak to that directly, bro. I appreciate everything that you just said. You know, on the political side, I didn't say anything political. I don't think today is maybe that one thing about the president, whatever. But I've been on economic development in Ann Arbor Township for years now, and now I'm economic development working in the county. So you know, part of what I've done is to try to bring some of those EDA grants that stay up in North Jersey. You know what happens? North Jersey gets all that money, and very little of it actually comes down here. So we've been working hard with our local municipalities to try to get minorities to know that there's money out there, programs and grants out there, and then utilize it. And I'm going to tell you that part of the challenge that we're having, the biggest challenges we're having on that end, is finding minorities to open up businesses. So to be here in this establishment right now is truly a blessing. We need to see more of these popping up in our communities. It makes no sense that you go to every black community, the majority of black communities across this country, we buy our fried chicken from the Chinese people. Nothing against them. God bless them. Well, why won't we put up a chicken spot? You know, in each of them, that's what we want. We're buying our hair products from Asians. You know what I'm saying? So we're supporting other people in other cultures, and then we wonder why we don't have it. We don't have that generational wealth. We have to find a way to educate the next generation to put that around. So the work that you're doing is extremely important, and it can't just be done, you know, it can't just be done in little small groups, you know. It can't just be Atlantic City, it can't be just, you know, Atlantic City, Pleasantville, Ann Arbor City. We gotta look at all these communities and say, where are there opportunities for us to put up some businesses so we can build that, back that generational wealth in our communities? Because if we don't do that, then we're lost. We own nothing. I say all the time, black folks don't own a portion of no industry. Every other group in the world owns a book. You want shipping. You go to this. You want, importing of fruits and vegetables. You go to that. Everybody has their own niches where they own a portion of the economy. We own nothing, but yet we spend more in purchasing than most small countries.
So actually they did the numbers. Black people in America, the economy is bigger than, I think they said Brazil. So when you look at the amount of money you spend, we are actually, I believe, right above Brazil. If you just took the black population, that's insane, but yet, as you said, you don't own, but you spend that much.
That's right.
On that note,
Please,
I hope everyone has gotten something to eat. I'm going to get something to go, and I hope everyone that is able will make a donation so that we can do this, so I can continue to do this without having to do it out of my own pocket all the time. We are definitely going to do a part 2 where we discuss politics, Black Republicans, and I'm looking at doing it on Christmas Eve. Does anybody? No, good. No, I said that. I said I was looking to do it on Christmas Eve because I appreciate everyone who came out on Father's Day, and I know that for some of you or for some people, they really couldn't get away today. But we're definitely going to do a part 2. I will be back here on July 13th with artist interviews, and yeah, so I want to thank everybody for coming out. But before I let you go, I'm going to pass the mic one more time to each of my panelists and ask them if they have a closing statement. Yeah, well, I'm a politician in the room. Don't start no mess. Well, listen, I'm not going to say much because I think I just said most of what I had to come here and say. As a community, we need to refocus on our community. And I listened to some of the stories. I was always taught as a young man to surround yourself, as you said, who you surround yourself with ultimately ends up identifying who you are, and so I was always taught to surround myself with older people because whenever I hung out with my own age group, I found myself getting into things that might have got me a beating at home. You understand what I mean? So, and I tell my son all the time, if the ones that learn to listen to their elders sooner, you can see the success blossom in their lives in a way that you just can't, you can't even quantify, just not because they're smarter than you, but just because they've been here longer than you. And I tell my son, I said, listen, I was 24 already. Everything that you're getting ready to do, I already tried it, and all I'm doing is telling you what can work and what can't work, what didn't work and what didn't work, and so it's up to you to make your own decisions. But on that note, I'll say, one thing I do want to say is that social media and text messaging, I'll bring that up for a second. There's a group in my social, I belong to a social fraternal organization. And there's a lot of young brothers in there, and I'll say, not everybody stays an active member of the organization, but when we found and developed these relationships where we have group texts, we use social media to communicate every day, that's a positive way that we can use it to stay together. So just like you, I'm pretty bad at picking up the phone and calling people. I'll admit that. I'm bad at staying in touch. I'm not good at staying in touch with people that I care about, and I should do a better job with that. But that's not really my strength. I'm always running. I'm constantly just trying to make my events and make my meetings and make my things, and I'm running. Yeah, I'm running a lot. So there's one of the young brothers that's a part of that. He started a group for us, a text group. I'm telling you, every day, at least my wife will tell you, we're probably on there about 30 texts a day. Our kids are graduating. My daughter just hit a home run. I just got that promotion on the job. I'm eating better. Look, I found this thing that's good for you. You know what I mean? It's working for me. Just anything that you can think of, we're putting on there. And as black people, as black men, We have to get back to that. We have to get back to being a community. Because we need it. And when I talk to the young kids out here, they are looking for it. Everybody says, well, these young kids, they don't want to hear nothing. That's not true. That's not true. That is absolutely not true. They are looking for us to lead them. They're looking for leadership. But we have to be willing to present it to them in a way that makes sense to them. And right now, sometimes I think that we're so busy trying to do it the way that we were taught to do it. That goes back to the corporal punishment. We're so busy doing things the way we were taught to do things that when I'm looking at the opportunities to look down at the next generation and say, listen, come on in here and let's see how we can communicate with you. Teach me how to communicate with you so that I can be a better communicator. You know, and so just getting these messages out to the kids, because all of us in here, we're at that tender age now where most of us have established ourselves in how we've lived our lives. And as I say to my son, my time is coming to an end. The work that I'm doing now is about you. It's about my grandkids. It's about my great-grandkids. It's not about me. It's about the future. My pension is almost assured as long as I don't do no corporal punishment, right? Long as I stay away from putting kids in the corner. But the future has to be solidified, and I think the way to do that is by us coming together as a people and learn how to communicate again.
Yeah, so what I like, I really love this whole concept that we got going on here. So one of the things that I'd like to offer is that at some point, what you do is I would love to have you come to my office and be able to do this kind of thing and just, just so that people, even with other businesses out there, black businesses, if we were to have this kind of forum in different people's offices so that people can get to know that these businesses do exist. And I would be more than, I really would love to have something like that happen. So we have these kinds of social meetings in different offices so that people at least know that there's this shop here, that there's an African American chiropractic business in Pleasantville or whatever. I know that right now I'm probably the only African American chiropractor in Atlantic County that I know of. And there, people still don't know that I even exist here. So, and even at the concept of really getting to a point where we start utilizing black businesses. And someone said something about someone makes a mistake, and we hear it all over the social media, but anybody else that makes a mistake, you don't hear nothing about it. Just move right on. So just, my theory has always been if I go somewhere, if I don't like the business, I see something wrong, I'm going to go to that person and tell them so that they can do something to improve what they're doing as opposed to be bad-mouthing them. So that's my thought.
I want to first thank Raymond for this opportunity. Also, Weeks, I hope the best for you the next couple of days. And Parker, me, we cool, we always cool. My brothers, older brothers, ran with your father. They know your father. Okay? So I know you came from good stuff. Mr. Miller, I appreciate you. Mr. Miller, I'm going to tell you, he supported me, and he supported me well. These two gentlemen here, I was responsible for hiring them. I was on the Board of Education. And I remember, I don't remember your name really off, but I remember your name. I hired you. Anyway, Weeks, Parker, we got to do something with the educational system. And the one part that I like to see in Atlantic City, Pleasantville, all over, is to start with the curriculum in teaching our kids from kindergarten to graduation, 12th grade, how to create a business plan. Now, they don't have to do it when they graduate, but when they graduate, they're going to know how to read, they're going to know how to write, they're going to know how to create a business plan. Don't lose your train of thought. And also from kindergarten to 12th grade, how to eat. Am I right or wrong? The help. Raymond, I think this forum is wonderful. When I said God, I said, God, when I open my eyes and I see the surgeons, he says, feed my people. He said, Peter says, Jesus says, Peter, do you love me? How many times, Mark? How many times did Jesus ask Peter, did he love him? He said, I love you 3 times, okay? They feed my sheep. I'm not saying y'all guys are sheep or anything, but Raymond, I'm going to ask that you do the same type of form, but bring out those pastors and ministers out of the church in Atlantic City, Pleasantville, all over. Bring them out of their churches and bring them right in front here. And ask those same questions. And let's hear what their answers are. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm coming out to all this kind of stuff. And I'm going to tell you what I believe in. My faith is in Jesus Christ. Okay? Because he's got me this far. And he's not going to leave me. Amen?
On that note, one of my favorite people, let's leave out Imam Amin and the other imams, the Jewish people, because we got all kind of spectrums and we discussed it, whichever way you approach. It's a good thing to have that. But that's not where I'm at here. I noticed Mr. Gary has his on too with veterans. What do people, strangers, say to you?
100%.
They say, yeah, but what do they say when you walk in the grocery store? What do they say? Thank you for your service. Okay? I hear it all the time.
Thank you for your
I kind of heard you snicker a little bit when he said something about military service. I don't know what that was. I heard something back here.
Okay, so
I
thoughts about mandatory service.
I only say that because you have veterans. I kind of linked in as thinking this is something I say to my wife a lot. 2 years would be great, but between the time you get out of high school and the time you go to college or whatever else in fall, this time for boot camp. I guarantee you this whole society would be a lot less me if they did those 6 or 8 weeks and learn how to I can come back out here and do my thing. But I just went somewhere where I wasn't in jail, thank God. But you know what? You're going to do it this way. You're going to conform. You can buck all you want. Bucking ain't going to do nothing but make the water hot. So when you come out, I honestly, this is my opinion, you're going to be somebody that can be better for society.
Either that's what the military or the nation of Islam. Either the military or the nation of Islam. They can go through.
It's my turn. I'm doing this, and I know the school teachers understand since we're wrapping up. At the bottom of your lesson plan, there's a little part called assessment. So I need to see what you got sitting back there. What'd you get out of it? Tell me
That's another name.
And if you weren't paying attention, be honest and say, I was sitting here all day and didn't get a thing this day.
Don't put him on the spot. Don't put him on the spot.
That's another name. Go ahead, nigga.
It goes to what we were talking about earlier. I'm sorry. That was the part I really wanted to do was the assessment to see if our young people.
So, this is another name. I just want to say thank you to Raymond. Raymond, I don't know how long you've been doing this, 20, 30 years, whatever it might be. And it's nice to everybody up here. Mine's going to be very short. I'm an educator, I'm a traveler, got some things going on. I'm willing to help anybody with any endeavor, either from Egg Township to Atlantic City, back to Egg Township, to Ghana, to wherever it might be, I'm available. From the curriculum, to writing, to discussing, I'm available. Just call me, and I'm willing to help.
Before I go, especially since Nathan is here, I wanna say there were a lot of deaths this week from Sly, Wayne Lewis from Atlantic Star, but one of Nathan and I colleagues, Ananda Lewis, passed away, and that was heartbreaking. Before we go, I want Paul Jerkins from the city of Pleasantville. Before we go, I want to say thank you all for coming. Please get something to take with you. And just before I wrap up, I'm going to give Mark Tyler from the Atlantic City Focus an opportunity to speak if he'd like to.
As people are walking out the door,
We provide a safe space for residents and natives to tell their own stories in their own way. We celebrate African American culture, history, and traditions. And when we do it correctly, the stories that we tell are enlighten, entertain, and informative. We are very happy to be a sponsor of today's event. A lot of people have gotten a lot of things out of it, and now they go on and go on and go on and continue to do the good work that needs to be done. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much.